해피 발렌타인데이. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Tricky Jim. Thank you so much for tuning in on this lovely Monday, kind of a surprise impromptu stream that I am very much looking forward to. I am joined by Alex Holtz. How you doing, Alex?
Good. Excited to be here. It was kind of on the whim. I was coming up for the weekend, and you recommended it, asked what I wanted to play, and we made it happen.
That's right. That's right. Yes, Alex joined me last night to watch the Super Bowl, and figured, while you're here, do you want to skip work on Monday and
Didn't skip. It was approved. Anyone that's watching this that might work with me.
Yes, do you want to take an approved day off of your employment and join me for stream today? And you
of course, the answer is always yes.
Yes. And this is probably your third time on stream.
Third time.
Yes.
We played GLC the first 2 times. Some heartbreaking losses for sure.
Yeah.
But this time I've come with a game plan.
Yes, and a different format. I know, because when I invited you to be on stream, I didn't have an idea of what we were going to play.
Yeah.
I was just like, we'll play something, except standard. We're just not going to play standard, but we'll play anything else.
Yeah, you won't catch me playing standard on stream unless it's at a tournament.
Yes. And so Alex offered up to have us do the 2-player cube that I have. And I built this cube a long time ago. I actually showed it off on stream one time with Will Mantho. Back in my very first studio here at Full Grip Games. I mean, which was like my closet studio, like down in the basement. Very small. And and my production value wasn't quite as good, and my audio wasn't quite as good, and the content was younger, more youthful back then.
It was progressing to a good point. It just wasn't there yet.
Yes. And that video has like, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 30,000 views or something, like pretty good for a draft video. Let's see. It's got 42,000 views, which is like pretty good. That's pretty good for a video,
especially from back then.
That for a video that I made 4 years ago about a Pokemon cube, like, yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. With my shoddy overlay and like, all that stuff.
The lightning's really sick.
Yeah, thank you. I did design that myself. I did. For those of you that are wondering what we're talking about here, we got you can see this was the original production of the Ultimate 2-player drafting experience. I did used to go through the effort of like pulling up overlays and stuff, so there was that. But it's just really hard to do. It is really hard to do all that. So I do all that in post now. But I used to have it programmed into my Elgato Stream Deck, and I used to like pull up images as we were playing.
Yeah.
But I think that I can produce a better end product if I don't try to do all that while I'm live. So since then I have given up on trying to bring up card images while I'm playing live. Like that just is, it's kind of an insane thing to ask someone to commentate, to play, and to pull up images while they're.
Well, and you have to direct me because I don't know what I'm doing. So that's an even.
Exactly. Yes. So yeah, it's a lot. But I produced that. That was like 4 years ago, and honestly, Alex, we played this cube a few times this weekend, as we kind of like wanted to refresh ourselves with it in preparation for this stream, and the cube still holds up.
Yeah, I would say so. I had my personal opinions about tweaks, but it was more so me raging than anything.
Yes,
about losing. But I was surprised at it. Yeah, because some of the times when we revisit the old things that we used to do, realized playability was not as good as we thought it was. So this for sure held up very well.
Yes, I agree. It was still a lot of fun. Like we got a lot of really good, fun games in. The strategies are like really cool, and I feel like the gameplay is like quick and easy to pick up. So as far as like a 2-player Pokemon TCG drafting experience, this is a really cool collection of 80 cards. And I think it's got a lot of evergreen value. It's got a lot of replayability, and it's just a good time. And most of the cards are nostalgic as well. Cards that people will recognize from their childhood, which also just makes it really fun. I'd almost say, rather than building like base fossil decks to play against each other, if you could just buy 80 cards from that era, this would be a pretty solid 80 cards to buy, and then you could just have like kind of infinite fun with it.
Yeah, and I've played my fair share of base fossil. We used to play it all the time, and have kind of fallen off of it. It's just pretty formulaic. The decks are, you pretty much know what's going to happen. There's so much draw power that there's not a lot of variety, and it just gets stale pretty quickly. So if I was going to build base fossil, I would 100% build this instead. You can play it multiple times in a day with somebody and not get bored. And you're not playing 6 games of Haymaker Mirror. You're simply not doing that.
Lickitung Stall. You're not just gonna play like Lickitung Stall back and forth.
God.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a lot of fun. And then the cool thing about doing a little 80-person 2-player draft like this is that you can tweak the pool however you want. Yeah. So like if you want more energy removals in here, go ahead. You could just pop them in there. If you want any more or less of anything, you can pop in there. If Rapidash is your favorite Pokemon, and you're like, oh well, Tricky, your version only has Lightning, Psychic, Grass, Fighting, and Colorless Pokemon. but I really want these fire guys. Well, you can like pinch one type and then throw in the fire guys. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, and we talked about doing that exact thing
Uh-huh.
yesterday. I mean, it's not. This is a good start, but
Yeah.
I would be super excited to play other people's versions if they wanted to try to throw in a stage 2. We have no stage 2s in here.
No.
Wanted to try to throw some of those in there, some water guys. I mean, it could happen.
It could. But the way that I've built this collection of cards, you Solomon draft it. So what that means is that there's 80 cards here, and each of us is going to take turns opening a pack. And when I say open a pack, I mean you take the top 8 cards of the deck and you lay them out. And then player 1, and for this example, we'll say I'm player 1. Player 1 will separate the first pack into 2 different piles. And you try to make the piles each have their incentives to be selected, right? You don't want one pile to be way more powerful than the other pile, because the way this works is that your opponent gets to choose which pile to add to their deck. So I'm player 1, and I drew the 8 cards off the top of the deck, and then I put them into 2 separate piles. They don't have to be completely even. They just happen to be even for this example. And then Alex gets to choose which pile goes to his deck.
Right. So then if I selected this pack, then Andrew would get
get these
4 cards.
And then for the next 8 cards, Alex takes them. You can go ahead. And then he repeats the process.
And then eventually the entire stack runs out, and we build our 40-card decks.
Yes. Basic energy is provided, so you don't need to draft basic energy. But
so in this example, I might build the pack with 5 and 3, seeing as that I value energy removal highly.
Yes. And then I would say, all right, I'm going to take the smaller pack because it's got the energy removal in it, and I know there's only 4 energy removal in this stack of 80 cards. So we would take turns going through the 80 card pile until eventually the stack is divided up amongst the 2 of us. And then we take our spoils from the draft and we build a 40 card deck and we play a 4 prize game. And it's really fun because if you've ever played base fossil, then you know that taking all 6 prizes at a base fossil game is like exhausting.
Yes, and you're gonna deck out probably, and there are no superior energy removal in the stack.
Yeah, no super energy removal.
Just super energy removal, just the regular energy removal.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody had a question about if you show it to your opponent. That's sort of why I wanted to stream this. This is a really good stream game because exactly how it's streamed is exactly how you're supposed to play it. So there's no stream tricks that it's like, well, you don't do this in real life. This is exactly how you do it.
Yes. Yes, so like every time, when we're drafting, every time we open a pack, yes, that's public, right? You open it publicly, and then you separate it publicly, because there's no like secret to be kept here. It's like, okay, these are the 8 cards that just popped, right? And then I'm going to separate them into 2 piles, and then you're going to pick one. So there's nothing to hide. If you wanted to be secretive about your thought process, I guess that you would sit here and kind of like, that you would try to be a little cagey about that, but like,
yeah,
you can hide that. You can hide your thought process. He can't read minds, just don't be super visible about it, right? So it's
and I think we've played against each other a few times. The thought process is usually pretty obvious.
It is. At this point, I think you kind of know the strategies. We're developing a little meta between the 2 of us, which is funny because we know the cards that we value highly in this collection of 80 cards, and that should be interesting to kind of play into the drafting experience. So I'm going to be recording this. If I decide to produce it into another YouTube edit, like, cool, but I might just leave it as a Tricky Jim live exclusive stream. I'm not exactly sure yet. I got a lot of YouTube video edits and projects that I'm working on right now, so like Yeah, I just got a lot of video projects I'm working on right now. But the cool thing about cube drafting and the cool thing about this format is that it's an eternal format, right? It's a self-contained eternal format, so it's never going to get old. So I could produce it at any points, and it would still be a good watch, I think. So
Yep.
yeah. Now, before we get started, I want to take a moment to thank the subs over on Twitch. Thank you so much, Brandon, for that tier 3 sub and the 66 months. Thank you, Lil Will, for that sub in the 75 months. That's crazy. Thank you, Peter, for the 49 months. Appreciate you. Thank you. And Marco Spector, converting the Prime sub to a tier 1 sub. Yo, thank you, Marco Spector. Thank you. Thank you. And let's see. Anything else? Yes. Make sure to check out fullgripgames.com for all the best sleeves and accessories. All the best singles and sealed products. They've also got sleeves and accessories. Dragonshield.com for all the best sleeves and accessories. But we've got a huge 4K cash doubleheader weekend coming up that I want to mention before we get started at Full Grip Games. It is happening the weekend of March 29th and 30th. It is our Journey Together release weekend doubleheader event. There's $4,000 cash on the line for top finishers throughout the weekend. Saturday, the 29th of March, will be our Journey Together standard post-rotation event, awarding $3,000 cash prizing to top finishers. And then the Sunday, March 30th, will be our $1,000 cash Gym Leader Challenge event. And Alex, I think you're going to be joining us for that.
Yep, I will be winning the Sunday $1,000 cash GLC event.
Okay.
I may make an appearance on Saturday, but no promises. But if you play in the GLC tournament, you'll definitely get to watch me on stream in the finals winning. So make sure you're there for that. You will want to see it live and in person.
For sure.
We'll sell you the whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge.
Okay. Let's see. Any other musings or things that you're thinking that you want to talk about, Alex, before we get started?
No, nothing on my mind. Why?
All right.
It sounded like a trap. Was there something I was supposed to have?
No, not a trick question. No, just if your mind was wandering anywhere, wanted to chat about anything. But
Brandon mentioned the gambling. We're going to play a best of 3, so you could actually gamble on each game individually
we are going to
rather
play
than
best
the
of 3.
overall
Yes,
winner.
yes, for sure. Yes, you may also recognize Alex from the Cube video that I produced for YouTube in January. Yes, that was a lot of fun. The Noah's Ark Cube draft video. Alex was one of the 8 contestants in my first 8-player cube draft video that I've ever made for YouTube. That was a lot of fun to make. That was cool. A lot of work though.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I did pretty well. There were some things I would have changed. I don't want to spoil anyone that hasn't seen it, because if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's probably like the best video Andrew's ever made.
I don't know about that, but
Behind the GLC one that I'm in. It's kind of weird how it works. I show up and then they're like the best videos of all time. But
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get some dice outs. Let's press record on these things. Cool. Give me a little clap. Wonderful. Okay. And yeah, those are face cams. So I got the face cams recording, just in case I decide to produce this into a video with face cams, And then this is a treat, okay? Because I don't always have the Embor tin here in the studio, but for those of you wondering how I keep all of my dice at home, this is my home collection of dice.
And I was kind of wondering about that when you packed it up this morning. I was like, are we actually breaking out the Embor tin instead of the studio dice?
Well, see, I just put in an order at Chessex, okay, to get more white dice and stuff, because as it is right now, I have my studio dice are downstairs for League to use during League streams. And so it's like I either keep bringing them up and down, or like I just get another set of dice. So I just ordered another set of dice. But those aren't here yet. So today we have a very special stream with my home. It's just like a collection of the most random dice you've ever seen from throughout the years. Like this 2017 regional championship die, and there's a bunch of old ones like this guy from like Burning Shadows or whatever set that is. This guy from Fates Collide, right? Just Neopets dice. Lost Thunder.
We'll have to check the logos every time we roll them to make sure.
So I really just want like a couple of dice that are going to look reasonable on the Pokemon.
This one's a 6. Set that one aside.
Yeah. See, there's enough like opaque. Like those will all work fine.
My brain rot's insane that I was able to pick out the In the Zone dice as having the logo as a 6.
Yeah, that's actually kind of nuts. Not gonna lie, that was a wild select there. Wonderful. Oh yeah, look at that. Just way too many dice, really. You have the Champion's Path die. Should that be our rolling die? That's a good one.
Oh yeah, I like the logo on that one.
Yeah, the Champion's Path die is a classic. The cool thing about drafting this as well is that it really doesn't take a long time to draft. Like,
No.
How long do you think it's going to take us to actually draft our decks here?
I think yesterday it was taking us less than 30 minutes to get through the stack.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's only 80 cards. You're only opening 10 packs. So, like, I think I'm guessing it'll take us, like, less than 20 minutes. That would be my guess. Maybe I'm tripping, though. But as we're producing content, though, and, like, kind of yapping.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to put a hard set on it, because...
Yeah. Because there's going to be yapping, and there's going to be some smack talk. I was promised smack talk.
Promised smack talk? Did I do that?
I believe you did promise smack talk, Alex.
Well, I don't want to smack talk before I've even seen the first pack. Like, I got to see it and then talk about how I'm going to cook you.
Okay. So here's the deal, Alex. I don't think it's possible for you to beat me in a best of 3 with this cube.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even think it's possible.
Well,
bro.
yesterday, I mean, who's to say how yesterday's final game would have gone? We had to stop before our third game, 1-1 before the Super Bowl.
We did. And then the set previous, I did win 2-1.
I mean, you should have lost probably, some would argue, I would say.
Okay, so you think you have a chance here?
I would say, yeah, I would say that it's about even probably now going into our third one. Yeah.
Even. He thinks it's going to be even? Goodness, Alex. Goodness.
Just because you're old doesn't mean you can play the base set cards better than me.
Yes, it does. That's how it works.
Oh God! But if we brought out the 2013 cards, I don't even think it would be a question.
Oh, really, really, really?
For next time,
I'm very much looking forward to this. As I feel like when you draft and battle against someone, it's so fun because you have multiple routes to outplay your opponent. You can outplay them during the drafting portion. You can outplay them during the gameplay portion. And in a one-on-one draft situation like this, it's funny because the drafting is very personal. It's me against you. And
yes.
Because we both know the contents of the cube to start, we know exactly what cards we're giving our opponents, and we know exactly what their deck is capable of doing. When it's all said and done, you can look at your own pile, and you know exactly what your opponent's pile is.
Yeah.
Because the entire cube has been divided up amongst the two of us. It's just 80 cards, and we're building 40-card decks out of the 80 cards.
Yeah, and well, another thing about what you're saying with the 2-player, as opposed to an 8-player draft, the techs are like much more important because you're not just taking a 1-in-8 shot that you're gonna, or 1-in-7 shot that you're gonna play against that person by putting that card. You know that, like, okay, I have to include this card because he's going to play that.
Yes. And one of the things that I love so much about the early days of the Pokemon TCG is how important weakness and resistance are in those formats. The Pokemon may only do 10, 20, maybe 30 damage, but if you're hitting for weakness, then that makes a huge difference on the outcome of a match. And if you're hitting for resistance, that makes just as much of a difference.
More important.
Yeah, it's more important than weakness even, because resistance is minus 30 during this time. And like I said, some of the most powerful attacks do 30 damage.
Yeah.
So you could resist an entire attack if you have a Pokemon that resists your opponent's Pokemon in the active. You're resisting basically all damage being done to you.
I mean, to even do 30 damage, you have to either be attacking with Mewtwo with 3 energies, Hitmonchan with 3 energies, Electabuzz, you have to flip heads in order to do more than 30 damage. So if you're resisted, it's basically game over.
Yeah, but the way this cube is constructed is that you can pivot between your different Pokemon to make sure that you're not stuck, up against something that resists you. You want to pivot to something that hits neutral or for weakness. So that's kind of like the back and forth of this particular cube. Is it's very weakness and resistance driven. And so it's not just about making sure that you have the best trainers to beat your opponent. You also have to have the right combination of Pokemon to beat your opponent, because the Pokemon all hit each other for weakness and resistance, and all 10 types are not included in this cube, right? Because it's only an 80-card cube to be drafted amongst 2 players. So there's only like 4 types that are included here. It's fighting, lightning, colorless, grass, psychic. 5 types. That's it. So
yes,
there are 5 types that you can play in your deck, and realistically, you could play all 5 of those types.
Yeah,
in your deck if you wanted to.
The only grass Pokemon attacks for colorless.
Yeah, it's
unless
Scyther.
You want a Swords Dance.
Yeah, Scyther doesn't really need the grass energy.
Yeah,
and the Pokemon can all use the energy, for the other Pokemon. Colorless can use all energy, right?
Yeah.
So like colorless and grass, you can use any of the energies. So the only energies you're really using are going to be lightning, fighting, and psychic.
Yep.
So,
which also means we're going to be playing the same types. Most games.
Yes. Yes, very good.
I'll give you the home field advantage. Do you want me to pick the first pack, or do you want to pick the first pack? I'll just let you pick.
Let me pick. Do I want to kick off? Do I want to receive or defer, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoo. I'll let you divide up the first pack, Alex.
All right.
Let's do this.
We getting started?
Yes, sir.
Scyther already got Gust of Wind and Energy Removal. Both powerful trainer cards. In that Light Jolteon. I'm definitely splitting the Energy Removal and the Gust of Wind here. I do really like Energy Retrieval as a card. Light Jolteon has value. Man, doing this live is actually more nerve-wracking than I anticipated. Because I don't want to make an egregious misplay. Put the Energy Retrieval here. I just don't want the Item Finder and the Energy Removal to go in the same pack. I want to make you work for it a little bit. Bill is very valuable. Mewtwo and Scyther would like to split, so I put the Mewtwo here and a Light Jolteon and then the Scyther here. And I'll let you pick from that.
All right, you did a pretty good job of dividing these up, but I still think this is definitely the pile.
All right.
Yeah. Energy Removal is a really powerful card. It's a 4 of in this cube, so there are 4 energy removals. If we divide them evenly, that means each of us gets 2. But then Item Finder can also act as another energy removal. Gust of Wind is only a 2 of in the cube, so that's a very high value card. And then Mewtwo is one of the strongest attackers as well. So
I've been known to overvalue the energy removal, but I'm sticking to my guns on it.
Okay.
I think it's good.
I don't think the energy removal is as good as Alex thinks it is in this particular cube draft. It's scary because nobody likes getting their energy removed, but you should play plenty of energy, and the games aren't always decided by just a single turn. All right, the next 8. Now, both Alex and I really think that the Ghastly and Haunter are absolutely insane in this cube. I think the Ghastly is like one of the highest value cards you could draft. This thing is nasty in this limited format. It's a psychic Pokemon that hits Mewtwo and Mew for weakness, but it's got no weakness itself. It's got a minus 30 resistance to fighting, 50 hit points, free retreat, and paralyzes on a coin flip for 10 damage. I mean, it's just an insane basic card. Being able to free retreat pivot in and out of the active spot while also having a fighting resistance, while also having a psychic attack that hits for 10 and paralyzes. Just very high value.
And not only does it resist fighting, it hits Hitmonchan for weakness specifically as well.
Yes. And then the Haunter, funny enough, doesn't gain any HP when it evolves, but it's got the Pokemon Power Transparency, which says whenever an attack does damage to Haunter, you flip a coin if heads prevent it. And then Nightmare puts the defending Pokemon to sleep for 2 energy. So you're not doing a lot of damage with Ghastly and Haunter, but they both have free retreat. They are fighting resistant, and they are just very, very good strategic Pokemon to have in play. So the funny thing about Ghastly and Haunter both popping in this pack is that ain't no way that I'm going to put them together. So they can live on separate piles for sure. Then I also value Elm higher than I value Oak, so I'll put Oak over here. And then if I give Alex the Ghastly, which I think he really wants, I think he wants the Ghastly, and I think he is going to take it. So I would put Mewtwo and Mew over here. I'll put a Bill over here to kind of throw him a bone, but then I really don't think that he's going to take this pack. So I'll because I think Alex is low-key kind of spooked out about the Ghastly. So I'm going to serve him up this.
So I typically would be spooked about the Ghastly. We're taking the Ghastly. I was going to justify it, lead you down my train of thought, but it all would have just resulted in me taking it at the end anyway, so might as well.
I told you, dude.
I think the only way that you could have propositioned me to not is if you didn't include the Bill.
I know. That's why I threw you the bone.
I was on the fence until you were like, well, I'll give him the Bill. And I'm like, all right, we'll take it.
I knew he would. I knew he would. And so my logic there was, okay, I'm kind of baiting Alex into taking the Ghastly because I know he wants it. So I'm going to try and build myself the strongest pack I could build on the other side of the Ghastly while making him feel justified in taking the Ghastly. So I did a couple of things there that Alex may or may not have noticed. I gave myself the second Mewtwo, and there's only 3 Mewtwo in the cube altogether. And I also gave myself one of the strongest counters to Mewtwo with the Mew, because Mew's Psywave attack does 10 damage, times the amount of energy attached to the defending Pokemon. Mewtwo usually has 3, so that's 30 damage, times 2, 60 damage with a plus power. That's a one-hit KO on Mewtwo. So I was able to take a double Mewtwo and the best counter to Mewtwo, while also denying Alex the Haunter. And I could still get Haunter live if I'm able to draft the Ditto Prism Star.
This guy.
Yes.
Also, you said Mew the best counter to Mewtwo. Arguable, behind Ghastly being the best counter.
Might be.
All right, so what are we working here for pack number 3? The Electabuzz comes out. Still no Hitmonchan. And 2 Scythers. I already have a Scyther, and I'm probably not running 3, so I don't mind just instantly splitting those between the 2. I value Last and Energy Removal. Probably Last more at this point. But I'm not going to put them both in the same pack because Andrew will probably just instantly take it looking at the rest. Master Ball has been kind of underwhelming for me, personally. I feel like when I've been playing it, I have not been seeing the Pokemon that I am trying to get off of it. So I almost kind of just want to split it with Sandshrew here. And if I did get the energy removal, basically I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, both of these cards are good, Bill or Electabuzz, and no Hitmonchans have hit the board, so Electabuzz is is definitely live, and you're committed to the Mewtwo. So I'm gonna split it in this direction here and let you pick from that.
Okay, so you already have one of the 4 energy removals. If I give you this pack, you're going to have 2 of the 4 energy removals. I don't like that. So I'll just take this kind of easy opportunity to grab myself an energy removal now so that I don't find myself in a more weird situation later where I feel like I have to take energy removal number 3 because now you have 2 of them and are on the brink of having a third.
And that happened last night, or last night when I was playing against somebody else. I already had 2 and was basically able to just put 2 cards with the energy removal and say, either give me a third one or I'm going to get a bunch of consistency cards. So, agreed.
Yeah. Now I got a question in the chat. Why take the best counter to Mewtwo when I'm taking all the Mewtwo? Because if I don't take it, then I give it to him. So
Yeah.
that's like the kind of funny thing about doing the Solomon draft is that anything that you don't take, you're giving to your opponent. There is no other players in the sea who you might not have to face or anything like that. It is a very kind of personal back and forth drafting thing, and the hate drafts are very real because you were drafting and building your deck against just one other person. So let's get into what, pack number 4?
Yep. This is an interesting pack.
This is interesting because this is the first Hitmonchan. You have one Electabuzz already. You also have the Sandshrew, so giving you Sandslash could be annoying because Sandslash and Sandshrew are the only Pokemon in the cube that have the lightning resistance. So if I do give you the Sandslash line, then I probably don't want to be into Electabuzz too deep myself because that's tough. I do really like Hitmonchan, and since I have control of the Mewtwo's right now with 2 Mewtwo myself, I don't mind getting into Hitmonchan, so I think that's pretty good. This is also the second gust of wind, so I could pressure Alex into really wanting to take this because I have one already. And are there only 2 gust of wind? There might be 3. Let me check. I'll pull up Cube Koga. Check my own cube. Because I thought there were 2, but I don't want to.
I believe there's only 2.
I don't want to be talking like there's only 2 if there are 3. There are only 2. Okay. There are only 2 gusts of wind in the whole cube, and I have 1. So I could lock Alex out of having any gust potential if he does not take this. So I can almost guarantee you that he will take this. And it's funny because even me talking about it, I feel like I'm somewhat persuading you, like you're going to be like, dang, I really do need to take that, don't I? So that's adding to the mind games or the fact that we're talking about our moves too, because it's kind of funny. The art of persuasion, right? So I'm going to start with Gust of Wind on one side because
I thought you were 1-7ing that for a second. You moved them all to the side.
No. I'm going to start with the Gust of Wind on one side because I think that Alex wants to take that card more than anything else. So then I'm kind of constructing the rest of the pack around what I think I can get away with taking while Alex will probably still take that Gust. I like Doduo. Doduo is a really good card. It's got free retreat and a fighting resistance. So I want the Doduo myself. Energy retrieval is also very good, and so is Hitmonchan. If Alex doesn't take the Gust, I'm willing to give him the Sandslash. He could feel good about that. Give him a little bit of that. And then, you know what? You can have the Electabuzz too. And then I know Alex doesn't like Oak very much, so I'll give him the challenge. And I'll take Professor Oak over here. And we'll see which one Alex takes. I'm actually really curious to see what you do here.
Yeah, this is tough. What you were saying about the Doduo, I agree with you. First of all, Dodrio is just extremely good. And never underestimate getting in there with the Doduo and flipping the coin. And I did really want the Hitmonchan. Giving you Oak is scary. Oak plays really well with Mewtwo. Getting energies in the discard gives you a turn 1 energy absorption, but I'll admit it, you did persuade me on the Gust to Win, and I will take the Gust to Win.
And I knew you would. I knew you would. I knew you would. Giving your opponent full control over the gusting power is really tough because the Gust of Wind is usually a checkmate card you can use at the end of the 4-prize game. If you just need to take that final prize, if you have just one Gust of Wind, you could item finder for it. That's game. Yeah. Having that option is a total difference maker in your deck construction. So I could definitely see why you took it.
And it's funny you mentioned that. That was like my main driver, was the fact that I had already previously picked up an item finder early when you gave me the energy removal. So. All right, so this is pack number 5, because I'm on odd numbers, and there is the second last. Lot of good consistency cards here. Wow, this is going to be tough. So, I think that Andrew, considering I have the only other last, similar to the Gust of Wind, does value the last at least a little bit, maybe not that much. Not exactly sure what he thinks about that card. He did also, though, take the other Elm earlier, if I remember correctly, and there are 2 of those?
No, there's 4 Elms.
4 of them? Yeah. Okay. I still want it, though. I would prefer to have 2 of the 4. Bills, I think we're good on Bills. I want to guarantee myself 1, so I will split those there. And the Wigglytuff do the wave, very good attack. I mean, that's got to be the highest damage that you can do in this cube, I believe.
It is.
Dang it. So I want to incentivize him to take this side because I would like him to not have 2 Hitmonchans. So we will split it this way. I might be giving up too much for this, but we'll see how he chooses.
All right, so you always kind of want Wigglytuff. I mean, that's just a card. It'd be nice to have Wigglytuff. I would like to have Wigglytuff for sure. But the thing is that if I value Wigglytuff at all at this point, Jigglypuff has not popped yet, and neither has the Ditto Prism Star. So I can't actually put too much value into Wigglytuff because I don't know if I'm going to be able to secure either of those pieces. Whereas you've offered me the second Hitmonchan and an Elm over here, so I'm just going to absolutely take this. And now I feel like I'm kind of going for the Psychic Fighting deck where you kind of lead with your Mewtwo and then back them up with your Hitmonchan. And if I can get the Dodrio, that would give me less retreat cost to pivot between Mewtwo and Hitmonchan, which could be a really good 1-2 punch because Mewtwo gets resisted by colorless Pokemon and can be walled off sometimes, especially if Alex is able to get the Hitmonchan, or especially if Alex is able to get the Lickitung, or if Alex is able to get that Wigglytuff. That could be problematic for Mewtwo, but that's why you play Hitmonchan to kind of cover Mewtwo's weaknesses. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then I also snagged an Electabuzz in case I want it, because I have control of the Hitmonchans right now. So the worst thing that I have to worry about with Electabuzz is that Alex does have that Sand Slash. So that's something I got to think about. All right, pack number 6?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Pack number 6. We are past the halfway mark. Oh, baby. There are the final 2 energy removals. So I'll get to ensure that we both end up with 2, which I like. That's nice. I think Good Manners is low-key
broken.
Yeah.
Insane card.
This is one of the strongest cards in the cube, which is really funny because it just goes and gets a basic Pokemon out of the deck. But there's so many times where that's exactly what you want. It's free search. and being able to go get the Pokemon that hits your opponent's active for weakness out of the deck with a card like Good Manners early on is phenomenal. So I know we're both going to be valuing that card.
Yeah, and it's funny because it doesn't read that well, and honestly, I think that's part of the reason there's only one in there when we were building this, maybe, or when you were building this. But when you read it without playing the game, it doesn't read that well. But then once you're actually playing, every time it comes down, you're like, oh my god, this card's insane.
No, that's why there's only one in here, because it's so good, dude. It's so good. And it's like a powerful like scoop up or something like that, you know. It's good one of. Because you don't want everybody to just be able to go get whatever Pokemon they want the whole time. You want there to be some drama, right?
Exactly.
So that's good. Chansey is also a really good closer. If you can just stack 4 energy on Chansey, you could double edge for game, which is a nice checkmate move to have. So I do value the Chansey very highly. I think that the plus power is also a very good card. Switch, Master Ball, and Clefairy Doll. I'm kind of feeling like Master Ball there. I don't want to put the Master Ball and the Good Manners together, so I'm probably going to do that because if I don't get the Good Manners, I want to at least get the Master Ball as kind of a concession. So I'll send this.
You made it tough. If you were included the Master Ball, I think it would have instantly took the Good Manners pack. It's sort of my thought process with the way that he split it as well is that there's only so many switch cards, and being able with Electabuzz and Ghastly to lock him out of as many switch cards as possible, I think is actually kind of valuable. Basically leave whatever he has in the active paralyzed with no answer. But the plus power is insane. The plus power can single-handedly win some games. And it's especially important since I have 2 Scythers because you can do a 40 and a 30 to hit 70 with plus power. And the Chansey's good. I almost am just going to let you have the Good Manners, unfortunately.
And the Switch. That was the other card that I really wanted. Being able to pivot between the Mewtwo and the Hitmonchan is something I absolutely want to be able to do. There's only one Switch in this cube. There's one Switch, there's one Scoop Up, there's one Warp Point. So those pivoting cards are very valuable. So
what sent me over the edge was the Chansey, only because I am sort of fearing the Mewtwo's, and my Pokemon line is a little bit light, and with only a few packs left, I don't know how many opportunities I'll get to not get denied the Pokemon I want, so I wanted to make sure I had some sort of answer to that. We're on to pack number 6.
7.
7. I can't count. This is very interesting and annoying. Scoop Up is the most broken card, probably in the cube, personally.
You think so?
One of.
It's really good.
Top 3.
I mean, it is really good. It's a heal and a switch, right? That's kind of crazy.
It's a heal and a switch, and importantly, the 3rd Hitmonchan has made an appearance. So I'm definitely not allowing you to have both because they play well together, and you already have 2. Oh, gosh. Additionally, the Mr. Mime. We were talking about Mewtwo counters earlier. Mr. Mime is a very good Mewtwo counter. Very good Hitmonchan counter. It's arguably
Mr. Mime is not a great Hitmonchan counter because it just 2-hit KO. Hitmonchan 2-hit KOs Mr. Mime.
Yeah. But you put some you put like if I go in with my own Hitmonchan, you knock it out. Mr. Mime can come in, sweep up.
It's true.
It just takes 20 damage on you, I believe, to be a one-shot.
Yeah.
It's something. It's something. Okay.
It is something.
And the Clef, man, this is tough. There's a lot of cards that I don't think are by themselves just going to make or break the deck, but I think that the choices that could be made here could be very consequential. Item finder here. Gosh, you're killing me in this, man. You're killing me. I almost want to do... Okay. Go ahead.
Really? Yes. Yes. Yes, I will take this. I have complete control over the Hitmonchan. I've got 2 item finder of the 3 that are in this cube. And I've got Mr. Mime now, who is another fantastic psychic Pokemon who I didn't want my Mewtwo to have to go up against. So that is lovely. Or my Hitmonchan, for that matter. Next pack. Okay, I think Alex is reeling. I think he's really sweating. I think
I'm sweating.
I think you're sweating profusely. I think you're worried about getting absolutely shut out. 2 4-0 games back to back. And I think you want some Pokemon to help you fight against my Mewtwo. So I think you want both Lickitung and Erica's Dratini because they both resist Psychic by 30. So I'm going to split those up so you can't have both. Then the Eevee evolves into Light Jolteon. I've got complete control of the Hitmonchan, so I don't think that you're even going to want to play Lightning Pokemon too much in your deck. I want the Dodrio. I do. So I'm willing to say we're going to go here, and we're going to put every other card over here.
Wow.
Because I don't want to play against Erica's Dratini.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. So at this point, I'm just going to make Alex's life really hard where he punishes himself profusely if he takes this pile. Right.
There has to be cards in my deck. I can't just keep picking the 2s and the 3s that I keep getting baited. At some point I have to pick up an Elm. I have no Elm.
Right.
And there has to be I have to attack with something. So I will concede the Erica's Dratini and for the Lickitung. That is fine.
Right. I had to throw you a bone, right? So you have to, had to give you the Lickitung. That's fine. Oh, wow. It's almost more exciting to watch your opponent flip over cards because you know if there's a card you want in that pile, you could guaranteed select it, right? Which is pretty cool.
This is interesting. There are a lot of good cards. All of the good cards have been, I feel like, in the past 2 packs. Both double colorless energy showing up is interesting because you might think that I want to split them, but I want both of them. So I am trying to determine
But I want both of them.
what I want to concede to get both. And I know you have the Haunter in the back, and this plays very well with the fact that you have the Dodrio, because in a pinch, you could always evolve this into the Dodrio to retreat your guys. I think you're targeting this card very much so. Additionally, we both know that I have the Wigglytuff, and I think you don't want to give me access to the Wigglytuff by giving me the Ditto Prism Star.
And another funny thing is that
The Jigglypuff has not shown up.
we know for a fact that the Jigglypuff is in the next pack.
Yes.
And that you will get to select it if you want it. Yes.
But there is no guarantee what else is in that pack. You could easily just be like, okay, you
There
can have
is a
only
guarantee.
the Jigglypuff.
There actually is a guarantee of what else is in this
yeah,
pack.
yeah, but we're not doing all that. Come on.
There actually is a way to deduce exactly what's in this pack.
But like, we don't know. I think that it's actually unreasonable for me to be able to get both of them only because of the Defender and the plus power in here, and I would have to concede far too much because I don't want you to have both plus powers and the defender. That being said, I mean, you did kind of sway me out of it. The Jigglypuff's in the next pack. I'll get the Jigglypuff for sure, right? I would say that one Ditto Prism Star is equivalent to. I think these packs are not going to be even. To a defender and a plus power. No, I will not say that.
My eyebrows went really high when he did that.
Because the thing is, if I do that, you're going to say, I don't care about the Wigglytuff. I am not scared of the Wigglytuff. I will take the defender and plus power, and I will beat the Wigglytuff.
100%.
And now I'm rethinking everything. I think the energy search is like, we haven't been drafting in a way that we really are going to be playing all three types. So I think the energy search is just simply not valuable. I think I'm good on bills. I think you're going to want the computer search for your Mewtwo. Mewtwo always wants the computer search to be able to discard energies, which is cringe. Go ahead, sure.
Yeah, the thing about Ditto Prism Star is that it's nice, but it gets one-hit KO'd by Hitmonchan, so I dare you to put that thing in your deck.
I won't have to, because the Jigglypuff's coming.
Final pack. Woo-wee! This is a good one. This is a real good one. Nightly Garbage Run is one of the most powerful cards in the cube because it is the only recovery card. It's basically like Super Rod, Team Rockets edition. And I already have one. So getting to pressure Alex out of some of these very valuable things is going to be quite good. The Ditto is great. In fact, Ditto is one of the strongest counters to Mewtwo. So I definitely want to make Alex pick between his Jigglypuff and the Ditto. A Mewtwo is quite good. I know Alex would like to get his own Mewtwo so that he can counter my Mewtwo's because Mewtwo does one-hit KO Mewtwo. So he probably wants that. But I think that Ditto, he may just say I don't value Jigglypuff because I've got Ditto Prism Star now, which I can use to evolve into my Wigglytuff. So kind of thinking through him with that. I know he wants this Elm for sure. I've got my 2. He would love to have 2. If you don't have 2, you could have a tough time. You could negate that with Cleffa, though, because Cleffa's got the Eek attack. Much to think about.
It's harder live, isn't it? When we were playing, I felt like it was easier.
Oh no, it's not harder live. I don't even think about being live. It doesn't even. It's
Oh
not
my
even a blip
God.
on my radar, dude. No, it
Yeah,
makes
that's
no
fine.
difference for me.
Well, when I lose, I can just blame it on that.
Yes, when you lose, inevitably, when you lose, you can just blame it on my home field advantage and the fact that I operate better while live. Yes, that's what everybody does. Yes. So right now, I think that he would kind of snap pick that. But the item finder being over here, if I gave you an item finder and a nightly garbage run, I'm taking Elm, Comp Search, Cleffa, and Ditto, which is all pretty good. Do I really want to sack all of this, though, over here? I think Alex would be pretty comfortable with this. I would also be very comfortable with this take, though, if Alex took this. So then I'm thinking to myself, is there anything here that I'm upset to give him? No. And then if we switch Nightly Garbage Run with, like, Comp Search, how does that switch things up? I feel like he takes this one. That's funny. I feel like he goes where the Nightly Garbage Run is, which is funny. If I switch those two. That's kind of interesting. Because the Nightly Garbage Run is such a high value card. Do I have 2 item? I could control the item finders completely, which would be insanity. Holy smokes, dude. That would be quite funny. I think if I do that, he just can't win. If I do that, wow, that's nefarious, dude. This is all of a sudden getting straight up nefarious, and I love it. So I'm giving this.
All right. You're official.
This is official.
This is official.
Yes.
So here's the thing. You could control the item finders. This card is bad.
You're crazy.
You actually don't need this card anymore.
You're nuts.
So you talking through how valuable this card is, I'm essentially looking at this and saying, okay, I'm going to give up control of the item finder. I already own the other Cleffa. Can I squeak by? Essentially what this is an elm. That's what you've essentially put on the table. You've said, do you want this elm that bad? And I think that not only can I squeak by without the elm, I think I will be drawing so many cards I won't even miss it. I'll be like, have a 15-card hand, be like, I don't even want to play an elm. So I think you gave up far, far, far too much, and that you way overvalued the Nightly Garbage Run, similar to how I have overvalued the energy removals. But we'll see.
All right, man. All right. You gave me all 3 item finders. You gave me 2 energy removal. You gave me a gust of wind and the scoop up, I think. No, you got the scoop up. Dang it. All right, that's fine. That's fine. All 3 item finders? That means I'll be able to energy removal up to 5 times. You're not going to have any energy, and I've got both Nightly Garbage Run, so you're not going to be able to recover them.
I don't know what to tell you. This is going to play really well when I go 2 games in a row, 4-0 prizes, and then you can just, at the back end of that, with the Vietnam flashback of you saying this.
All right, we'll have to see. Alex, you could take a little step outside to construct your deck so that we can construct our decks in privacy. Well, not too private. Don't log into Twitch and watch me build my deck. That would be messed up.
I'm already unplugged.
Okay, that's fine. Wonderful. Alex is going to take a step out to build his deck, and I'm going to build my deck with you all, and we're going to battle our 40-card decks against each other, playing a 4-prize game in a best of 3 to see which one of us won the draft. I'm feeling very good about my pile, and I think he's cooked. So let's lay this thing out. I mean, I think we did exceptionally. We've got extremely high command of a lot of the most valuable attackers. And we've got probably the best support Pokemon in the draft, which is the Dodrio, giving you 1 less retreat cost, allowing you to easily pivot between Hitmonchan and Mewtwo, so that's really good. Computer Search is very good with Mewtwo because you can discard Psychic Energy and then go use Energy Absorption to bring them back. 3 item finders is just absolutely crazy because I'm going to be able to recover everything in my deck. The Elm is a very strong draw card. Bill, you don't actually need to just play all your bills because it's a very methodical game. It's a lot of kind of back and forth pacing. So I'm going to start off with 3 Elm 2 Bill. I don't think that I'll need the 3rd. Bill, in some ways, ends up being kind of like a waste of space because it doesn't actually do anything, right? It allows you to draw 2 cards. So, yeah, it's a card where it's like it doesn't actually provide value, right? Where a card like Item Finder or Energy Removal might. but it does help you to increase your hand size. So that's the kind of nebulous value you get out of it. Elm is a much stronger card because you can go from a 2-card hand to a 7-card hand. So we're going to value Elm much more. We do have a Professor Oak, which is definitely a scary card to play. However, I've got both Nightly Garbage Runs, so I'm kind of confident that we can play the Oak. And it might just be 3 Elm and an Oak, no bill. We'll see about that. I don't think I need Energy Search, but I do want to play Plus Power. I do want to play a double colorless energy, so I'll play that for sure. I definitely want to play my Warp Points and my Switch to give me some pivoting between my Pokemon. That feels very good. So we're going to want to play those for sure. We're definitely playing Scyther. Yes, that guy is just really good at retreating. He's a 70 hit point Pokemon with free retreats. You love to play Scyther. We're going to play Good Manners and our Master Ball just to give us some Pokemon search in the deck as well. We've got the Plus Power is definitely in. The 2 Nightly Garbage Run are definitely in. I'll never deck out. That's something that's really nice, right? I'm going to win the deck out war every single time. And then Energy Retrieval is another card we definitely want to... Well, the thing is I don't need to play Energy Retrieval because I've got both Nightly Garbage Runs. So I could just play more Nightly Garbage Run. Energy Retrieval does give you some selection over the energy, so that's something that we'll think about. Right, and then the Clefairy Doll is kind of like a I'm 50-50 on. We could play it or not play it. So let's see how many cards we're working with at this point. The double colorless energies and energies, so I like to kind of think about those separately. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let me stop these face cams real quick. Yeah, pause that. Okay. Cool. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 Pokemon. 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29, 30, right? So like we're butting right up against what we want with our deck because we really want to have like 13 energy. And I probably want to play something like 6. I probably want to play like 6, 6, and 1. Something like that as far as the energy goes. So we'll start with that. Say I go 6 Psychic, 6 Fighting. The Fighting is a card that you just want to have. Like if you start Hitmonchan, you want to have that Fighting in your hand. We could play Energy Search over one of these energy. I don't hate that, as it gives me some selection over which one I'm getting. And I do have the 2 Nightly Garbage Run, so that's okay. But I am going to have to start getting a little choosy here, right? Because we're over right now. And you can see how quickly things kind of fill up. Now, Alex does have both copies of Lass, so I do need to make sure that I've got plenty of draw. So I probably do actually want to play a couple copies of Bill just to make sure I don't get like run off the table. I don't actually need to play this double colorless energy. I mean, double colorless could help me to attack with Erica Stratini, could help me attack with Scyther, could help me attack with Dodrio. Yeah, I'll play the double colorless energy. Is totally broken. I think we're going to go 1 Nightly Garbage Run. I don't actually need the 2. With the 3 item finders, 2 is too many. So I think I'm going to stick to that. And then I also don't think that I necessarily need the War Point. So I might cut that. And then I might not need all 3 item finders. I think 2 is actually kind of probably fine. So we want to give ourselves as much utility as we can with the item finders, right? You want to be able to get back kind of like a bunch of different stuff. So you want to play a bunch of different cards with item finder, but at a certain point, if you play too many item finders, then you're just discarding cards without value. So let's see what we're working with here. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 29. So I probably want to trim, let's see, we've got 12 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. Probably want to trim one more card. Oh, I don't need to play this Mew. Yeah, so we're going to take that out. So that's feeling pretty good. I don't need to play the Mew because I've got 2 Mewtwo myself. The Mew is not the strongest attacker. Mr. Mime's just kind of better at fulfilling that role. The Master Ball, I also think, is a card that maybe I don't need to play. I've got the Computer Search, which I can use to go search out Dodrio if I want it. I think I'm fine cutting the Master Ball. But what would I play if I cut Master Ball? The Warp Points? Yeah. Warp Point's really good. I think we're going to rock with that. That's my special pile right here. Yes. This seems like the gas. I'm going to be honest. This seems really hype. The cards I'm choosing not to play, I'm going to not play an item finder. I'm going to not play 1 Nightly Garbage Run, my Master Ball, Mew. I don't think I'm playing Energy Retrieval, funny enough. He's only got 2 energy removal in his deck and no item finder. I'm not that scared. And I've got Nightly Garbage Run, 2 item finder, so that should be fine. And that's it. I definitely value the draw cards. The reason I decided to put both Bill in is because he does play Lass. He's got the 2 Lass. So I need to make sure that I'm not just getting caught like with nothing. I want to make sure that I have enough draw cards in my deck that I can safely draw out of a well-timed Lass on his part. So there we go. Boom. I am ready. Fantastic. Someone on YouTube asks, what kind of cube is this? This is my 2-player, the ultimate 2-player drafting experience is what I've named it. I built this years ago and have been revisiting it again this weekend, and it's a lot of fun. It's been really fun way to play with these cards, and you can get a lot of replayability out of just the 80 cards, which is super cool. And the games are fun. The pace is fun. It's something I've really enjoyed for sure. I've got the list on cubekoga.net if you're interested in it. I know quite a few people have told me that they've built it and had a lot of fun with it. It's as far as cubes go, it's like a really easy one to build because it's only 80 cards. So I'm good. Plug yourself back in.
Continuity error. How are we doing?
That looks good.
Good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, go ahead. Put the energy you need in, and we'll get started with this best of 3.
Did you realize how much of a pile you had after I stepped out?
No, dude. I am extraordinarily confident with the collection of cards you've allowed me to take. Yes.
I was looking at mine and I was like, wow, this deck's going to be insane.
Really?
I was like, I wish I could put all these good cards in my deck. Unfortunately, I had to cut like half of the ones that I wanted.
My deck was quite easy to construct. I did feel like that there were a couple of tough choices I had to make, but eventually was able to figure out reasons to leave some cards behind and get everything put together exactly as it should be. All right, so we're going to play a best of 3, 4 prize games. We're playing original base set rules, so
Yep.
anything goes on the first turn of the game. There's no such thing as supporters yet or anything like that. And the first person to take 4 prizes wins. But then you got to win a best of 3. Let's see how it goes. You said you're feeling pretty good? You're feeling like you got some broken cards?
I've got some broken cards. I think I made some unexpected decisions, maybe. Or maybe you did expect them. But there's a few cards that I couldn't play because they got too hard countered by what you were trying to do. But I think it'll be fine. I've got my resists in there. I've got my weakness hitters, you know. And I think you're in for a surprise.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get this thing started. Heads or tails?
Heads.
I'll go first.
This guy.
Do you have a basic Pokemon?
I do.
I do not, sadly.
Wow, fighting energies. Who would have guessed?
It's true.
So, looks like,
Well, that's just ridiculous.
You're almost making it too easy for me.
I know. Look at all these mulligans.
You only put the Mewtwo's and the Hitmonchans in there? Is that it?
Now, we're not playing old mulligan rules, okay? 2 cards on a mulligan's ridiculous.
Yeah, no old mulligan rule.
No old mulligan rules. Now, attacking on the first turn, going first, that's fine. That's
allowed.
Yeah, that's just
Part of the deal.
That's just part of the deal. Yeah. All right, I've got my cards.
And I'll take my 2 mulligan cards.
Good luck.
Good luck to you.
Draw. Oh, well, this is a fine start. I'll bench Mr. Mime, attach Psychic Energy to Mewtwo, and use Professor Oak to discard my hand and draw 7 cards.
This guy, man.
Oh, yes. And I've got Scyther and Erica's Dratini. I'll put those down. And then go turn 1 Energy Absorption. I get to choose up to 2 energy from my discard pile and attach them to Mewtwo. Your go, bud.
All right. Draw. I will bench the Ghastly. I will attach a Lightning Energy. Lullaby. You are asleep.
That's right. And let's see if I wake up. I do. Stay woke, Mewtwo. We'll draw. Now, unfortunately, Jigglypuff has a minus 30 resistance to Psychic. So even though I'm ready to Psyburn for 40 damage, it would actually only do 10, which is not awesome. So, where do we want to go from here? I'll play Bill to draw 2 cards. Huh. I'll attach to Scyther and Psyburn for 10 damage.
All right. I was kind of freaking out until I forgot that it was resisted psychic, but then I was like, but that's why I put him in there, so I'm not sure how I forgot that. Anyways, draw for turn. Oh, now we are cooking, I believe. We will energy removal that psychic energy there. Attach a psychic energy of my own to Jigglypuff. Lass.
Okay. That's fine. I lose Switch, unfortunately, and Computer Search and Elm.
And I lose energy retrieval. Forgot to do that. But I've
Yeah.
got 4 energies, 4 big ones in here.
There you go, yes. I wasn't playing the Elm yet because I was valuing having the double colorless energy and the Switch in my hand because I was thinking to myself, like, cool, I'll just, I'll power up the Scyther, switch into it, double colorless, and we're slashing for 30. I didn't want to play the Elm yet to shuffle my hand into my deck. But that's okay, because now it's in my deck floating around, and eventually I'll draw into it again.
Pound for 20 damage.
Oh, he's going in. Draw. And let's go. Erica's Dratini is crazy. So I'm going to retreat. I know you just last, so you probably don't have an energy removal. And Erica's Dratini has this Pokemon power, Strange Barrier, which says whenever an attack by a basic Pokemon does 20 or more damage to Erica's Dratini, you reduce it to 10. And then Erica's Dratini also resists Psychic by 30. So I'm feeling really good about Dratini being in the active spot right now. And then Tail Strike does 10 damage, and you flip a coin. If heads, it does 20 more. So on a heads flip, that's 30 damage. And you are up to 40.
All right. Draw. Well, we'll just throw the psychic energy on Ghastly for now. I'll need it eventually. I will draw out of this eventually, so. But for now, we just increase the survivability for a turn. And it's a tough choice whether we want to Lullaby or Pound. We'll just pound. We'll just start ticking you up. I got to do it eventually, so might as well do it now.
Draw. That is a mighty fine top deck there. So I'll go. Psychic Energy to Scyther and play Professor Elm. Shuffle my hand into my deck and draw 7 big ones. Now, the downside of Elm is that I can't play any more trainers during my turn. So, in some ways, it's like the very first supporter card. I've attached my energy already. And we're going to go for Tail Strike for 0 damage because of the defender. But then the defender goes.
All right. Draw. Well, hindsight is 20/20. Should have kept the psychic energy. That is okay. attach a lightning to Mewtwo. And I think it's time to lullaby.
Okay.
And buy myself some time.
Yeah, no time.
Well.
Yes. Draw. And I'm feeling pretty solid here. Erica's Dratini may be able to take out Jigglypuff. Alex does not have a good answer to Erica's Dratini on his board right now. Not even a little bit. Let's go Psychic to Mr. Mime, and I'll play an Elm. I'm trying to draw into my Doduo so that I can evolve into Dodrio. That would be wonderful. But I just would have to find it. So let's see if we can find it. Seven? Nope. And I'll use Tail Strike. If I flip a heads, then this Jigglypuff is knocked out. That is a heads.
This guy has only hit heads. Oh my goodness.
First prize of the match.
Promote the Ghastly. He does have free retreat. Draw. And that's what the doctor ordered. Energy removal of the DCE. And it does no damage, but we will attempt to lick. You are paralyzed.
Yes, okay, okay. Bought yourself a turn. Draw. Or have you? Or have you? Yes. Let's go. Bill. Energy to Mewtwo. Switch into Mewtwo. And I'll use Energy Absorption to attach 2 Psychic Energy from my discard pile to Mewtwo.
All right. Draw. Cleffa. Energy. Retreat. Eek. Finally getting a new hand. What'd I tell you? I was not going to miss the elms, and I haven't missed them one bit.
No, you haven't. You haven't been wanting for draw power. Not a bit.
Not even a little.
Not even a little. All those lasts in your deck, and no way to recoup your hand afterwards. Not a problem. Oh, that's worked out just how you imagined it. Yes.
All right.
Okay, I'll draw. Cleffa is a baby Pokemon, so it's got the baby rule, which says that if any Pokemon tries to attack while Cleffa's in the active spot, you have to flip a coin. If tails, that attack does not occur. So that's a thing that I have to think about. What is the thing that I have to think about? All right, this is a fun play. So let's go Item Finder and I'll discard Hitmonchan and a Fighting. And I'll Item Finder for Warp Point and play it. Warp Point makes it so that we both have to switch our actives with a bench Pokemon. I'll switch into Scyther because Scyther has free retreats. And then I'll attach an energy to Scyther, retreat into Mewtwo, go plus power, and Cyburn for the knockouts.
I knew that was going to happen, and still did it. All right. Draw. It doesn't look good, to say the least.
I'm going to be honest with you, Alex. I feel like you're getting outplayed on both sides of the ball right now.
No. Throw down 2 Scythers. We will attach a Psychic Energy to Mewtwo here. We will play our second Lass.
Okay. Energy removal and
Plus.
Item Finder.
Yep, plus power. And then I'm just going to Eek, so I will shuffle my hand into my deck. Draw 7 cards.
Oh, that's a nice little
I
thing.
will force you to respond to the Cleffa, whether you like it or not.
I see, yes. Draw. And let's go Cyburn. See what happens. Tails. It's your go. Tails.
Oh,
The attack does not occur.
sorry, you have flipped so many heads, I just assumed that it was going to be heads.
Okay. No, it was not.
All right. Draw. And chat, this is where Kansas City starts their comeback.
Next year.
Bill for 2 cards. Oh, yeah, that is what we wanted. I could not have asked for any more. In fact, I don't even know if there are any other good cards left in my deck. Psychic Energy on the Mewtwo. Throw down. Not throw down the Electabuzz. No, he's coming down. He at least gets to make an appearance prior to the loss. Free Retreat on the Cleffa. Broken card. Can't believe they printed that card. Go into the Mewtwo and attack for 40 times 2 with Cyburn for a knockout, and you are not going to 4-0 me this game.
That's true. That's true. 4-0 denied. I'll promote Scyther and draw. Okay. Let's go. I know you're down both your energy removal. I know you're down your... and you have no item finder. So, my energy should be safe. I don't want to deck out, though. So, let's just go fighting to Mr. Mime, and I'll slash for 30.
All right. Draw. So it's an interesting predicament. Obviously, the Mr. Mime will knock me out. But the Mewtwo is sort of at the end of the road here. So I'm feeling like 40 damage could add up. So that if it does 30 or more damage, it prevents it. Cringe. That's how much damage I do. Trying to remember what's in my deck. Okay. For now, we will put a lightning energy on Electabuzz. And since you flipped tails on the Cleffa, I think I'm fine giving up the Mewtwo. I'm gonna just do the 40 to Scyther now.
Sounds good. Cyburn, right?
Yep, Cyburn. Sorry. Cyburn for 40 damage on the Scyther.
Thank you. I'll draw. That's fine. I'm going to retreat into Mr. Mime. Scyther's got for retreat. Easy pivot. Mr. Mime has the invisible wall Pokemon power. Says whenever an attack does 30 or more damage to Mr. Mime, you prevent that damage. So you can only do 10 or 20 to Mr. Mime. Meditate does 10 plus 20. Does 10 plus 10 more for each damage counter on the defending Pokemon, so it'll do 40 damage. Meditate for 40 times 2, 80 with weakness, and you're knocked out.
All right. Promote our free retreater here, as per usual. Draw. Attach Recycle Energy to Scyther. Retreat, and now we begin the Thundershock gaming. Flip a coin. If heads, you are paralyzed. Off the table. Caught it. Heads, you are paralyzed. And 10 damage.
You definitely needed that. You did need that. Yes. Okay. I'll bench Doduo. Energy removal your Electabuzz and pass to you.
Draw. Let's just get a look at the deck. Master Ball, look at the top 7. And that's going to be the whole deck. Mainly because I forgot what was left. So this is good info. Okay. And we will not grab a Pokemon with Master Ball. Attach a Lightning Energy to Electabuzz. Thundershock. Dang it.
Okay, Mr. Mime live. We'll draw. Oh, baby. Could do that. That'd be fun. We'll evolve into Dodrio. And then just energy removal the Electabuzz again. And Dodrio has the Retreat Aid Pokemon power, which makes it so that as long as Dodrio is on your bench, you pay 1 colorless less to retreat your active Pokemon. That gives Mr. Mime free retreat. So I will gladly pivot into Scyther, and Scyther's Slash will do 30 to Electabuzz, and then I'm threatening game next turn with Mr. Mime's Meditate for 40.
Okay. This is an interesting card that I drew, and I think it's pretty much the only play I can make to stay in the game. So I will play Computer Search, discard 2 cards from my hand, discard Oak and Bill. Not going to be playing either of those. Search my deck for any card. Grab... Man. Take that card. Play the infamous Scoop Up. Pick up the Electabuzz. Promote the Scyther with the Recycle on it. Attach a double colorless energy to Scyther. And use the French version of his attack, which I do not know the name of, to do 30 damage.
Slash.
I will slash for knockout.
That's not French. That's Italian.
Nobody clip that.
All right, slash. Yes.
For 30 damage and a knockout.
There we go. Well, that's unfortunate. Promote Dodrio and draw. But that Scyther cannot damage my Mr. Mime. So there's that.
All right, man. Rub it in more, will ya? You're already winning.
Yes. This feels fine. I'm going to retreat into Mr. Mime. And let's meditate for 10.
All right. My turn?
Yeah.
Draw. Play the infamous Broken Energy Retrieval. Discard a Psychic Energy to get 2 Lightning Energies. Put down an Electabuzz. Attach a Lightning Energy. Scyther retreats for free. And play Plus Power to Thundershock you for knockout.
What? This is craziness. I am mad. This is ridiculous. I'll promote Dodrio and draw. Okay. Well, things were fine until they weren't. So let's go. What's the best way to get out of this? Got a lot of energy in the discard pile. Three cards left in deck. This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. Okay. So, I think, wow, that's crazy. Because I think I'm out of fighting energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I am. Okay. But I can't afford to go draw into all of them. If you attach another energy to Electabuzz, you could start doing 10 damage a turn to my Erica's Dratini, which is fine. Okay, but I need to put the Pokemon back into my deck, or the energy back into my deck. So I'm going to item finder for Nightly Garbage Run. And with Nightly Garbage Run, I'm going to put back in Mewtwo. And a Fighting Energy. And another Fighting Energy. Those. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then if I played, I just got rid of the elm. Yep, I am. Just thinking. Okay. And then go ahead.
Okay. Draw. God,
I'm going to deck you out. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, you are. So, chat, this is it. Who will win this game? Put your guesses in the comments. Lightning Energy, Gust of Wind, and we're going to attempt to Thunder Punch and Flip Aheads to do double damage with weakness. It is a Tails.
Oh my god. Oh, well, that was a close one. I'll draw. Bench Hitmonchan and retreats. And I'll jab for 40. This game is actually insanely close. Yeah. I can't believe you had a shot at the win there. That's nuts.
Energy retrieval. Grab a lightning and a psychic. Going to be forced to retreat, or else he will get knocked out, and I don't have time to Thundershock stall and hit you for 30 damage.
And I will use Gust of Wind to bring up Electabuzz and jab for 40 damage in the game. No deck out needed. All 4 prizes taken. GG's. Game
I'm glad
one,
you
game
drew
one.
all 4, or else you knew I was going to call it a Mickey Mouse game for sure. If you
Oh,
decked
for
me
sure.
out.
If I decked you out, you were going to be salty about that and claim that it was not a real result.
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
But I took all 4 prizes fair and square. Though things got a little hectic there at the end for me.
If I flipped heads, you would have lost immediately. So
Yeah, there's that. There is that. Electabuzz can do 40 damage for 2 energy. It's just really good.
Yes.
And then the plus power play to knock out the Mr. Mime, that was crazy. Yeah, that was tough. That was really a close game. I felt like I was in total command of the match early on, and then things slowly started to slip away as my dudes kept getting knocked out, and I oaked away my nightly garbage run early on and said I'll just item finder for it later, and like didn't have my item finder later when it needed to happen.
Yeah.
And pretty much had to put the 2 fighting energy back into the deck and just hope I drew into them naturally.
Yeah, so...
And then I had Psychic in hand, so I'm like, if I draw into Mewtwo, then or if I draw into the Mewtwo that I put back, I'll just energy absorption and then go from there.
So you were talking a lot of trash during the draft about how bad my deck was going to be, which it was, it was a little suboptimal.
Sure.
But one thing you never considered is that I had both last. So you kept going on and on about all these item cards that you had, the nightly garbage run, the energy removals, the item finders. The whole time I'm just thinking, I'm just going to last them both away more than once. Very rarely do you see the last, and I never have to worry about the last.
This is true. Not having a last is unfortunate. Having the ability to disrupt your opponent's hand in some way is quite good. And me having no way to manipulate your hand feels unfortunate. However, that's fine. I got all the draw cards, so I could just draw out of the last. No problem. But that ended up being a very close game, and you could see why the gust of wind is so important, because you almost won on a gust of wind, and then I did win on the gust of wind.
Yes. Yeah.
So that is a game deciding card, like it always has been throughout the history of the Pokemon TCG. So that was a very close game 1. I'm glad I was able to squeak out of that one unscathed. That's good. My trash talking would have fell very flat had I not. So that was great. As far as the closeness of the game, sometimes you play to your opponent's level, It's just the way it is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Is that how it goes?
Uh-huh. Yes. As a Bengals fan, I know you know all about that.
Oh, okay. Now we're just taking personal attacks.
Would you like to go first or second in game 2?
Game 2. First. Sorry, I said game 2 to you. First. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll go first.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thank you to Claveman on Twitch for the sub in the 2 years. Peter M with that sub. Marco. And thank you, Moops, over on YouTube for that. That's, what is that, a super chat? Yeah. A super. Thank you so much for the super. Let's go.
I will say I was a little surprised to see you actually played the Erica's Dratini. I thought that you were going to get in your own head about it and decide not to play it.
That card's broken.
But I have the Full Light Jolteon. We were talking about the Wigglytuff, and I had the Ditto Prism. I ended up having to cut the Jolteon, which is why it did not make an appearance. Also, the Eevee is weak to fighting and has 30 hit points. Unfortunate, but I figured that there might be a chance that you would not play it knowing that I had more than one counter to it.
That card is broken.
And this time it is you that gets the mulligan.
Let's go.
Just some trainer cards, some Bills, some Oaks. Nothing surprising there.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take my mulligan. Good luck.
Good luck to you. All right. Draw for turn. Yes, and this is unfortunate. We will play a bill and see what we get. Draw 2 cards. And we hit what we needed, so that is fine. Attach a lightning energy to Electabuzz. That is what I needed. And you know what? I think I'm I mean, I can't actually do that, could I? Could I actually do that? We have to do something. All right, we're gonna play computer search. Get rid of psychic energy, and we'll get rid of another psychic energy. Yes. Pull the Mewtwo out. And then I will play. Oh, I did not think about that fact. Hang on. We're gonna shuffle while we think about the next action.
Mm-hmm. This guy's like, oh yeah, I'm turn 1 lasting, and then he's like, oh wait, I'm gonna get rid of my good card.
Yeah, well, you know, it happens like that sometimes. We're turn 1 lasting for sure. It's just a matter of how are we going to do it. And I think that means we're going to get rid of the recycle energy to put those psychics back in my hand. I was debating whether I wanted to just get rid of those 2 cards with computer search, but then I was like, I'll just retrieval my top deck next turn, not realizing that I'm going to be putting the retrieval back with the last.
Ah, yes. So you have gotten rid of my Bill and Elm. You got rid of your own Bill. That's fine.
Oh, this should not be my hand. Sorry.
Okay. You got rid of your own last. That's cool. I got rid of Elm and Bill. And I've got a pretty loaded hand, actually. And there's something interesting about the base fossil formats for the most part. There's not really a way to disrupt Pokemon out of your opponent's hand. Only ways to disrupt trainers with Lass. Not until, well, I guess there is Imposter Professor Oak. Yeah, which is like a Shuffle Draw 7, I guess, that you force your opponent to do. And then there's Shuffle Draw 4 in the Rocket set, but not many ways to disrupt your opponent's Pokemon. And none in this particular cube.
And then I can attack turn 1 because it's base set. Thundershock. Tails.
Okay, 10 damage, and let's roll. That's all fine. Unfortunately, Mewtwo's kind of a fatty. And he's got a 2 retreat cost. And he's kind of just there right now. He's very there, I'd say. So let's go bench Hitmonchan, fighting to Hitmonchan, bench Dratini, and pass to you.
Okay. Draw. The Hitmonchan is a threat for sure. And I have to be careful. But I think it should be okay. Attach a lightning to Electabuzz. Yeah, this should be fine. Thunder Punch. Heads. So
Heads,
take 40 damage.
Wow, okay, yep. So I'm at 50. That's fine. Draw. It's a nice top deck. We like that. Do I want to give up a prize? Not really. Yeah, not super into that. Let's just go on the aggressive. Double colorless energy, and then Elm. And we get to Shuffle Draw 7. The double colorless energy is going to allow my Mewtwo to retreat into Hitmonchan. And Hitmonchan's jab will be serving up 40 damage to that Electabuzz, which is going to put a lot of pressure on Alex. Since it's an Elm, I can't play any more trainers this turn. I'll retreat into Hitmonchan and jab, 40 damage. Boom.
Cut. Draw. And I will play an Elm of my own. Attach a Psychic Energy to Cleffa. Retreat off the Lightning Energies. And Eek. Shuffle my hand into my deck. Draw 7 cards.
All right, that's a good bailout for you there. Hitmonchan was about to go crazy.
I gotta make you work for it a little bit.
You got to, right? Thanks Atomic Waffle for that sub over on Twitch. Appreciate the support. 17 months. Let's go.
Draw 7.
Draw. Ooh. Like that. I'm going to play Good Manners. I have to reveal my whole hand. And if there's any basic Pokemon in there, I can't play the card. But if there's no basic Pokemon there, then I get to search my deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto my bench. And this is where my Doduo would have gone had I not prized him. This is my first deck search, so I didn't know that. That's fine, though. I am down my double colorless energy also. So Scyther doesn't feel as good, though Scyther does give me nice free retreating options. Yeah, we'll just get the Scyther. That seems fine. Scyther just plays really well with Switch and Warp Point, and is a nice vanilla Pokemon that I can just start putting energy on that is going to adequately deal with everything in Alex's deck. Cool. Bill? And we'll bill one more time. Okay. Let's go Fighting Energy to Hitmonchan. How greedy, Like, just put him out of his misery, Jab for 30.
Try again.
Jab for 30. It's a Tails. So the attack does not occur and my plus power is wasted.
That was extremely greedy. All right. Draw. Scyther. Need him in case you do knock this thing out. I got to be able to promote a free retreat Pokemon. Jigglypuff. And play Professor Elm.
Thanks Brett Fett for that sub in the 13 months. Appreciate it, Brett. Thanks. Love getting a special punch loaded. That's not something you get to do all the time with Hitmonchan, but when Hitmonchan gets 3 energy, shoo, he's cooking, dude.
All right, draw 7. Bill?
You cannot. Put it back. Double prize penalty.
Double prize penalty. You didn't see that. It was an energy card anyway, so no info. This is a tough decision. I like my hand. I'm not really interested in eking it away. Okay. Yeah, I like this play. I'm gonna free retreat into Mewtwo. We're just gonna set up an energy absorption directly into his face. Grab 2 lightning energies because I don't have any psychic energies. But I knew that before I did it.
Yes,
so
that's fine.
That's fine.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. Draw. Well, when someone serves you Mewtwo, you've got to give them Dratini. So we'll go Psychic to Dratini. Switch Hitmonchan into Dratini. And I'll pass.
All right. Draw. Now I can play the bill. Draw 2 cards.
I'll allow it.
Play another bill.
Yeah, the crazy thing about your bills are that I don't have a last, so I can't even mess with your hand at all.
Okay. Okay. I think that's how it's gonna be. Time to bust out the Ditto. I actually didn't draw too well off that bill. There's a few things I was looking for that I did not get. Lightning energy on Ditto. Retreat.
We're back at it.
And now we eek.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, how interesting. Man, like resources are so tight. You want to use them all appropriately. It's tough. Okay. Draw. Hey, ay, 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 ay. Speaking of resources and using them appropriately, yeah, that card doesn't help you do that. No, it does not. Okay. If I flip double heads on this Dratini, I mean, then I just knock out the Cleffa. So that's a thing. You kind of have to give yourself the opportunity to let it happen, right? I think so. Slow and steady. Tail strike. Nope. Go ahead.
All right. Retreat. Into the Ditto. He is now in Erica's Dratini.
That's right.
Attach a lightning energy. And I will use a tail strike of my own. It's just always going to do 10 damage. But I will still flip it.
Thank you.
Tails.
10 damage. All right. Draw. And okay. Yeah. It's fine. Psychic energy here. Retreats. Fighting energy. And I'm going to use Special Punch for 40 damage.
All right. Draw. I mean, at some point, you just got to start doing something.
Do you? I mean, we could just stay 4-4 prizes forever, you know?
Yeah, it is the unfortunate way the game is played. And I think that's fine. And I'm gonna make you work for it a little bit. I'm gonna energy removal that fighting.
Okay.
And I'll hit you with my own punch attack that does 40 damage.
Special punch?
Special punch.
Okay.
Special punch for 40 from the Ditto.
That's sick. Oh, why did I have to top deck that of all the cards? That is funny. Okay. Let's do... I don't want to retreat this thing. I don't want to commit another energy to it. I don't want to get rid of my item finders. That's for dang sure. I'll use item finder. Horrible, horrible, horrible. What a horrible mess. This is fine. Slow and steady, you know? I'll retreat. You're dead.
'Tis the way she goes.
Yeah, so now take my prize card. Very cool. And the way that that interaction just worked is that Ditto had 40 damage on it, and Ditto is at any time an exact copy of the Pokemon that is in front of it. So by retreating into Erica's Dratini, I dropped Ditto's HP to 40, and it got knocked out. So that is how that interaction just worked. Okay. And I'll pass.
All right.
Yeah.
Draw. Check my discard, see which type of energy I want to attach to my Pokemon. Attach a psychic energy to Jigglypuff. And then we'll eek.
All right. Just really want an energy off the top of the deck. I don't want to have to do anything crazy to go get my energy. Maybe I'll use my nightly garbage run and just go chuck some back in before Alex decides to last me or something. I'll draw. Ask and you shall receive, chatters. Energy to the Dratini is pretty good. But an evolution Pokemon like Wigglytuff coming up would just destroy the Dratini, which is somewhat concerning. So that is probably how we lose this game. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be tough. I'll use Nightly Garbage Run. I'm going to put 2 Fighting and a Psychic. Yeah, I'll put 2 Fighting and a Psychic back into the deck. And then I think he's got the Wigglytuff double colorless energy in that hand. He wants it. He wants it for sure.
Dude, he's so scared. Oh my god.
That's fine. But what if I just flip double heads? That'd be sick. Okay. I'll attach to Erica's Dratini. I need to not deck out too. It's like I need to access what's in the bottom of my deck, but I need to not necessarily draw very fast to go get it. So I'm like kind of this weird spot right now where you're definitely the one decking out over me. So I want to keep it that way. And I'll go Tail Strike. Heads number 1. Pew pew. 10 damage.
10 damage. Draw. All right. I'll retreat into Jigglypuff. I will evolve into Wigglytuff. I will attach a double colorless energy.
See, I told you he had it.
And then, how about do the wave for 50 damage?
That's kind of crazy. Yeah. Okay. Ouch. That is definitely the strongest attack in the cube coming my way right now, so I'm not loving that. Promote Scyther and draw. It's a great top deck. It's going to help me start to bail out of this situation. So let's go Mr. Mime down. Let's go Hitmonchan down. And Professor Elm. We'll shuffle draw 7. I was sitting on both my item finders and an oak. So it's like, Really don't want to play that.
Yeah.
Get rid of both of those. It feels really bad. Not only am I discarding my hand and drawing 7 cards, I'm also getting rid of 4 cards from my deck by using the oak. And then also shooting down all of my recovery in the process. So it's pretty much a lose the game on the spot if I do make that play.
Yeah, and playing oak in this format is always kind of awkward. You sort of have to play it early, and then you have to play around the fact that you played an oak early.
Yes, 100%. Yes, that's exactly how it is. It's a good opener if you've got some energy and you want to use energy absorption with Mewtwo. It's like fine for that, but otherwise it can be real tough. Okay, got a couple routes here. If I find fighting, I could go in with Jab for 40, which is a 2-hit KO, which is quite good. So we could just do that, toss him down, retreat, and Jab for 40.
Cool. I'm thinking. Master Ball. Okay. Man, you're not making it easy on me. That is for sure. I mean, that doesn't do anything. Do the wave. 50 damage.
Okay. Here we go. Energy here to Mr. Mime. Energy removal. The Electabuzz.
Okay.
And play Energy Search. Just in case it gets last, I want to go get my Psychic Energy now. Because I know that that Psychic can't be disrupted from my hand, but the Energy Search can. So, do that. And then we'll Jab for 40 in the knockouts.
Okay. Cleffa. Draw for turn. Okay, okay. I think this is fine. Attach a lightning energy to the new Electabuzz. Pass.
Heck yeah, dude. Draw. All energy removal Electabuzz. And Gust of Wind that Electabuzz. Psychic to Mr. Mime. Jab for 40 in the knockouts.
Nice. Well, it's unfortunate. Psychic energy to Electabuzz. Retreat. Energy absorption.
Draw. Okay. That's fine. I'll attach just Scyther. And jab for 20.
Gosh. Yeah. I think you've got me. Because I need an energy retrieval or something. I think you've got me, unfortunately.
So what are you going to do? Dude, you were talking crazy about Nightly Garbage Run. Crazy.
I was going to last my entire hand back
Yeah,
in.
but getting to put 3 energy back into the deck is nuts.
Yeah, probably. That's the card I needed.
Oh, it's all because you didn't have that card.
Well, actually, no. Allow me to explain. It's actually because I had to prize the 3 worst cards that Gasly need him so bad.
Oh, you prized energy removal, Ghastly, and Defender. Oh, I prized my prizes.
Yeah, I prized my prizes.
Oh, okay.
I'm the world's unluckiest Pokemon player.
I had my Doduo prized. Yeah, dude. I had to play that whole game without Dodrio. Yeah, dude, you just got cooked.
Unluckiest Pokemon.
You got outplayed on both sides of the ball.
Both sides of the ball.
On both sides of the ball.
Disagree with
you
that.
Got outplayed.
Heavily.
You got outplayed in the draft. You got out navigated in the game.
You got outplayed. Might have gotten outplayed in the draft. I did not get out navigated in the game, especially game 1. I made you look like an absolute fool. It's like you had never read a Pokemon card in game 1. It was like they gave you the Blastoise deck and you did the thing with your energies, but then as soon as somebody interacted with you, you just like fell apart.
Dude, you got cooked.
And almost lost to a gust of wind with an Electabuzz.
I did almost. I was 1 flip away. Yes, I did almost get cooked. But we persevered. Yes. And we're victorious in the 2-player drafting experience. Alex, now after having played this 3 times over the course of the last few days, it's a fun little thing. I mean, we were talking through the whole thing. Took us a couple hours, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I think, if we were just sitting there kind of cooking just the 2 of us and not, like, talking about everything, I mean, we'd probably finish that in an hour or so.
Oh, yeah, and I probably would have... Yeah. I don't know if I would have conceded. Game 1, I pretty much felt like I was in it the whole time, so that game would have gone to completion. Game 2, I really didn't feel like I was in it. I always felt a little bit behind the 8 ball, mainly because I was not able to convert the Mewtwo or the Hitmonchan on the bench with 40 and 50 damage on them into knockouts.
Yeah.
Or 40 and 40 or whatever it was.
It didn't have a gust.
I had a gust in my hand, but I was like, I need this, because the problem was that if I didn't save the gust, then you would throw the Mr. Mime in the active, and then what do? I need the gust to be the gust has to do something.
Yeah, no item finders.
Yeah, well,
no item finders was rough sledding there, dude.
Yeah, the no item finders. I will admit, with all of the trash talk, that the item finder might be your only valid criticism of my draft.
I think that
I could have gotten away with the no nightly garbage runs. I truly believe that if I had the item finder to be able to be more aggressive and end the games.
I think that during the draft, I think I was able to get into your head and kind of manipulate you into making poor choices.
Oh, I would say one poor choice. One poor choice.
I think, yeah, definitely. I think, being here on stream and me being able to kind of like, talk crap about whichever decision you would make. It didn't matter which decision you made. I was going to talk crap about it.
That's fine.
And try to make you feel like you were off track.
That's fine.
Uh-huh.
I was surprised that I think the Electabuzz, you were always scared to play because the only thing it hits for weakness, ironically, is the Dodrio and the Doduo.
Yeah.
So you're always scared to play it because of the Hitmonchan, but I don't know. I was still getting in there with the Electabuzz a pretty decent amount. I mean,
it's really good attacker.
It takes 3 energies for a one-shot. It's not like they can just waltz up and one-shot you out of nowhere.
No.
So they sort of have to telegraph it to you. I mean, he retreats for 2, which is kind of mid, but I mean, that's why the Mewtwo, even as a 1-of, was putting in work for me because you were like, okay, I'm just going to retreat and energy absorption in your face, and if you don't have an answer for it, Mewtwo's going to go to town.
Right. The Mewtwo's are always worth playing.
Yeah, the Mewtwo's are a bit centralizing, but there's so many counters to them that it's kind of like, you can get yourself into some sticky situations by just going in fully with the Mewtwo. So.
For sure. Right, because there's Ditto counters the Mewtwo. There's the Mew that counters the Mewtwo. Mr. Mime counters the
The
Mewtwo.
Ghastly is a pretty good counter. It doesn't fully counter it, but it's a decent counter
Erica's
to it.
Dratini counters the Mewtwo.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Wigglytuff.
Yeah.
Yes, you can never just play the Psychic guys. You have to mix.
You do. You
something
have to
in
mix
there.
something with it. Right.
But,
Exactly.
I would give it a try. I don't think the cards are that expensive.
They're really not. They're
for
not.
being base set.
They're not expensive. The most expensive card that you're going to find is the item finders. The item finders are probably like $10 cards right now. You can find some like very loved ones probably for like $5.
Yeah.
You know. So that's going to be your most expensive card. Your Hitmonchans, your Scyther. Okay, Scythers are like
Okay, so maybe I was off base. Maybe
no,
it was
it's
a bit
not that much
expensive.
for like building an 80 card retro cube. What does it say on Cube Koga? You can get non-hollow Scythers, right? Cube Koga says $420. That is just not true. That can't be true, bro.
That can't be true. Because
Yeah.
even if like 10 of the cards are $10 cards, we're looking at like only $100. I mean,
Yeah. No, there's no way it can be that because there's a lot of these cards you can get for like a couple bucks.
how
like
much
few
could a
bucks.
banana cost, Michael?
I know, $10. Yeah. I know. Well, that's the thing is I haven't purchased any of these cards in so long that I don't know how much they cost. Yeah. I'm just like, but when I bought them, they were like pennies. Like I don't know. They cost nothing when I was
Yes.
putting these together.
I have some Electabuzzes and Scythers sitting in a box at home, so I will probably be putting this and some item finders. Luckily, thank God, sitting at home, so I'll probably be putting this together, playing it with some people in Northwest Ohio. See how it goes.
It's a lot of fun. As you can see, it's clearly very skill expressive because I was able to dumpster Alex. So like,
Oh
yeah,
my
the
God.
better player is going to win like 9 times out of 10. Just a really really cool opportunity to like run circles around your opponent. You
Wow,
know?
yeah, well, he's really being relentless. He told me I couldn't curse on this stream, so I'm like trying to think of my words. So he's too used to trash talking without cursing. that
Yeah, oh, yes,
I'm at a
yes.
I'm at a disadvantage in the talking right now.
Your extreme disadvantage, yes. Yeah. It's a lot of fun though. You can find the list on cubekoga.net, and it's something that it's just like one of my favorite ways to revisit these cards for sure because you get a little bit of that deck building. You're not just taking like somebody else's deck that they told you to build, right? You're like you get to put together a little deck of your own every time you play it, which is really fun and kind of gives you it like gives you the vibe of like what it would have been like to like have a pile of cards back in 1999 or 2000 and actually be able to like put together a little deck with it, right? And then you just battle against your friends. Like it gives you that kind of kitchen table vibe of the base fossil cards in like a constructed and predictable way that is it's got
Without
a lot of
super
rebuilding.
energy removal.
Yes. Well, you can control that, right? And that's the cool thing about building your own custom format like this is that if you don't want super energy removal to be a part of it, you just say, well, we're not going to play with that card, right? So,
And I think that super energy removal is next levels of toxic
It
compared
is.
to energy removal.
It
I think
is.
it's
It
just
is.
not worth including in my opinion, especially when the whole cube is centered around a guy who puts energies on himself
oh, it would be
to
horrible.
then super energy removal off.
It would be stupid.
Yeah, you would literally just be playing the who gets more Mewtwo's game.
Yeah, that'd be stupid. It'd be stupid. But the way it is right now, I feel like it's balanced well, and all the guys feel like they get to kind of play a part, which I definitely enjoy. So that's going to do it. Short stream today, but I really appreciate you coming by, Alex, and joining us for a little impromptu draft stream. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I do have a drive ahead of me, or else I'm sure we could sit here and run it all.
We could do it.
again,
We could run
but-
it. We could run it all day. But
Yeah,
yeah, you
get
gotta
home.
get back to Finley, and I got some video editing to work on because I got some really cool videos that I'm going to be releasing on Tricky Gym this week. So, really thrilled about that. But definitely looking forward to seeing whatever you come up with for the Gym Leader Challenge 1K in March. If we don't see you between now and then.
Of course, and yeah, come up and find me at the 1K. It'll be a good time. I'm sure there will be plenty of people there.
For
It'll be
sure.
a big tournament, probably one of the bigger GLC tournaments in a long time.
Oh
So,
yeah, for sure.
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
And you can also find Alex and many of us in the Tricky Gym Discord. If you haven't already, definitely make sure to join the Tricky Gym Discord, discord.gg/TrickyGym. We've got 18,000 members and counting. Great way to make friends and build community in the Pokemon TCG and just chat about Pokemon cards. We've got a channel for pretty much everything, and people are in there yapping about Pokemon cards all the time.
And sports, the sports channel.
True, it's
Football
true.
season just ended, but next football season, catch me in the sports channel telling you about how the Cincinnati
Next football
Bengals-
season starts today.
Yep.
Let's go. Yep, that's right. And it's almost time to start talking drafts.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
If you're the Bengals, you've been talking about your draft picks since like mid-season, you know.
Oh wow, yes, okay. You almost pulled off a Lamar style choke in game 1, so I don't even want to hear it from the Ravens fan.
Yes. But anyways, that was a lot of fun. Very much enjoyed it. I'll be back Wednesday. I'm going to be casting and producing our standard league here at Full Grip Games on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be running it back and producing the Gym Leader Challenge League. Jesse and I originally had our Grass All-Star Challenge scheduled for this Wednesday. I've rescheduled that to next week. You can check the stream schedule in the Tricky Gym Discord to keep up with when and what days I'll be live here on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, and if you would have checked the stream schedule, you said there was a little spoiler that I was going to be here.
There
that has been
was.
sitting in the stream schedule, so you would have known that I was here.
It's true, because
so make sure you're checking it.
I did drop that. I shadow dropped that in the stream schedule for anybody who keeps, who checks it.
Yeah, exciting times at Tricky Gym.
I agree.
2 live tournaments a week, basically.
I know.
And when are you going to have me on to commentate the Thursday GLC?
Whenever you want to make the trip.
That could happen.
Well, yeah, dude. So let me know.
Not this week.
Yes.
In the future.
Let me know, because I'd love to have you down to cast. I've got the capabilities to do floor interviews now, to have someone down on the floor chatting it up with the locals, bring the mic around, doing all that. And yeah, we've got a lot of really cool videos, a lot of really cool streams coming up. I'm just so excited about the stream schedule that I've got. I love having a guest on every week. That's my goal for the rest of the year, is to have a guest on my stream every single week. I want to stream the leagues at Full Grip, and I want to have a guest every single week. And that makes every week different, because whoever my guest is going to be, we're going to do something different. We're going to talk Pokemon cards. We're going to, have a different activity. Today, the Cube Draft, that was a lot of fun. So thanks again for joining us, Alex. And thank you guys all for watching. Make sure to check out FullGripGames.com for all the best Pokemon trading card game singles and sealed products, as well as DragonShield.com for all the best sleeves and accessories. I've got some video editing to do, so I'll catch you guys on Wednesday night at the Full Grip Games Standard League. Y'all have a good one. See ya.